Okay, I have a question for you. See that map there? Maybe you can't see it. Let me make it a bit larger. Anyway, can you hear the music? If you can't, maybe it's been too long since you played Super Mario World. I'm going to turn up the volume here. Just a second. Where's that knob? Okay, now you remember. Now suddenly you're a kid again, sitting in front of the TV. What I'm going to talk about today is why this map is a bigger deal than you ever realized. Probably you never really thought about it, but actually this map changed the way platformers and video games made maps part of the experience. It's different than the simple Mario maps that came before. It's an interconnected world that stretches out in front of you, promises adventure, and there's secrets around every corner. I used to dream about finding new secret paths on this map. Now everyone knows that Super Mario World is one of the best games of all time. It's the best-selling SNES game ever. It came out on launch, but that's not actually what made it great. It's that we all played it for months on end. My dad still jokes that my first word was Nintendo. But if we look at the map, in previous games like Super Mario Bros. 3, we already had a pretty cool map. We had different worlds, themed, connected by paths. It was like an interactive menu. But in Super Mario World, that map grew so much. It felt like a real place. We're in Dinosaur Land with Yoshi, a complete world with distinct geographies where there's forest paths, there's valleys, there's ghost houses on hills, and glimpses of fortresses in the distance. It's not just that amped up menu screen. It's like a map of your journey. Before Super Mario World, game maps, of course, were already used. Dragon Quest in '86 was the first to give us a really great overworld to explore, and one of the first to use the map that deeply. And I'll have a video on that one soon, so stay tuned. But Dragon Quest wasn't a platformer. Super Mario Bros. 3, which I already talked about, used that map as a concept of moving between levels in a kind of living menu. But for Super Mario World, the designers, led by the legendary Shigeru Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka, wanted something more ambitious for this debut title for the SNES. They wanted to make both a world that felt alive and that promised some technical achievements that the SNES could now deliver. We can see that when we look at the map because we see how it uses layering and artistic techniques to create a kind of illusion of depth. There's bridges crossing over valleys, paths winding among hills. You could be forgiven for thinking this is actually in 3D. It's not. But because it uses the full range of colors on the SNES, increased from 54 on the NES to over 32,000, that really helps. And the increased memory lets you see the whole map at once, pan around it. So you get this feeling that it's such a large world and the depth is so clear. And the cool thing about hinting at that 3D, even though it doesn't use it, is that it gives you a hint that 3D is going to be around. And we do get that in some of the fortresses and the scaling and the doors in levels themselves. So it's promising what the SNES can actually do. But really, to be honest, what set the map apart isn't just how cool it looks, it's how it worked. There are secrets and discoveries all over the place. From the easy stuff, like when you land in the Forest of Illusion, to the Star Road, every level had potentials for secrets, and finding them would actually change the game map right before your eyes. You discover a new secret exit and a new path appears, leading to a hidden level, a shortcut. The Star Road wasn't just a fast travel system, it was a reward for exploration, a hidden secret highway through Dinosaur Land that you could discover. I'm sure that if you really thought about it or played it again, you would remember that first secret exit you found and you felt so clever doing. It might have been something obvious in retrospect, like the Yellow Switch Palace by flying above the goalpost in Yoshi's Island 2, or stumbling on the keyhole in Donut Plains 1 and wondering what would happen if you carried the key through the whole level. Whatever it was, when you did find one, it was like crazy exciting. The way the path would draw itself on the map, lead somewhere new, it just got your neurons firing, and I know I always wanted more. And then there were like mind-blowing discoveries that changed how you saw the game. Finding out when you could access top secret areas, like from the first ghost house that gave you unlimited power-ups, or when you find that secret hidden exit in Forest Secret area flying above the entire level, or even the first time you hit the Star Road. It's like, what is this game? Each discovery also led to others. You saw pipes in the Valley of Bowser that looked impossible to reach, and they could have just remained a mystery until you found that exit from Chocolate Island 2 and the Chocolate Secret, and things just pile on like that. The map wasn't just tracking your progress anymore, it was documenting your journey of discovery, celebrating the clever solutions that you found and hinting that there was more if you could spend the time and figure them out. I never even knew that the map would change to autumn when you played this game until I made this video. There's so many things I missed. 96 levels? Crazy. Now, the design philosophy of this map did change how players approach platforming games in a lot of ways. It wasn't enough just to reach the end of a level. Now you had to wonder, what did I miss? What secrets did I miss? And how can I show my friends? The map became that visual record of your exploration, with its color-coded paths showing completed levels, discovered secrets, and you could show off when your friends came over to play. It was influential too. It went to other games pretty quickly. So when Rare developed Donkey Kong Country, they built on this concept with their own 3D pre-rendered maps. Super Mario 64 took the idea and even put it on steroids, making the map concept into a fully 3D castle hub that you explored, but underneath it's the same idea as Super Mario World. And modern games like Hollow Knight still do this design philosophy, where discovering new areas and shortcuts changes how you navigate through this game world. And what this really did is it took a menu that would have been boring and made it part of an open world, early open world concept. It's part of that evolution from linear game design to open world game design, and it's in a platformer. It showed that even in a platforming game, you could really have joy from exploring, not just from jumping perfectly. And definitely, I know that when I stepped into this in the early 90s, this map grabbed my imagination right away. I didn't even realize that I was seeing a future of these open games that would come and that I would fall into in the years ahead. So anyway, I encourage you to go back and give that game a play again sometime. The familiar melody will bring you back right away, and the map will blow your mind now that you know a little more about it and you give it a little bit of the credit it deserves. So hope you enjoy that and enjoy the video.